The news hit like a thunderclap. Northern Timber Corp, a Canadian forestry giant for over a century, has declared bankruptcy. The announcement sent shockwaves from Toronto's trading floors to logging towns in British Columbia and Quebec. This wasn't just another company, it was a pillar of the Canadian economy, now brought to its knees overnight. For generations, Northern Timber trucks symbolized Canada's natural wealth and industrial strength. Now, that symbol stands for sudden, stunning failure. The company, founded in the early 20th century, built homes, cities, and a global reputation. It employed tens of thousands and supported countless jobs across the country. The idea that such a cornerstone could vanish was unthinkable, until today. Employees were told in brief, grim meetings, "Go home, operations have ceased." The disbelief is profound. A fundamental part of Canada's industrial landscape has vanished. This bankruptcy touches every corner of the country, raising tough questions about the future of Canadian industry. The silence at the mills is a stark testament to a crisis just beginning to unfold. How could a company this big fail so spectacularly? It was a perfect storm. A global housing downturn, especially in the US and Asia, crushed demand for lumber. Northern Timber's warehouses filled with unsold wood, revenues plummeted, and costs became unmanageable. Bitter trade disputes with the US led to heavy tariffs, making Canadian wood too expensive for buyers. Internally, aging mills and machinery needed costly upgrades, but shrinking profits left no capital. Years of expansion left the company with crippling debt. When revenues dried up, bankruptcy was inevitable. Environmental disasters like the mountain pine beetle in BC destroyed valuable timberland. Stricter regulations and more frequent forest fires drove up costs even further. The company was forced to process lower-grade wood or pay more for raw materials. In the end, these combined pressures broke Northern Timber's back. The real impact is human. Thousands of skilled workers like David Chen in Prince George now face deep uncertainty. After decades at the mill, he's left with a mortgage, kids in university, and few options. In many towns, entire families worked for Northern Timber. Now, their incomes have vanished overnight. The loss is more than a paycheck. It's benefits, security, and a sense of purpose. Health insurance and pensions are suddenly in jeopardy. The psychological toll is immense. Stress, anxiety, and a sense of betrayal run deep. Union halls fill with laid-off workers seeking support and sharing fears for the future. Pride in their work has been replaced by worry about feeding families and keeping homes. Across the nation, scenes of despair and uncertainty are unfolding. The collapse has left communities reeling, unsure how to move forward. In single-industry towns, Northern Timber was the heartbeat. Its loss is devastating. Local businesses, from diners to hardware stores, depended on mill workers' paychecks. Now, they face collapse. Town budgets, funded by mill taxes, will shrink. Schools, roads, and services are all at risk. Mayors warn of drastic cuts. The very fabric of these communities is threatened. Housing markets are set to crash as workers are forced to sell and move, trapping families in homes worth less than their mortgages. Social connections fray as people leave and hope fades. The bankruptcy could turn vibrant towns into ghost towns, erasing generations of community life. The ripple effect is slow, painful, and threatens to hollow out rural Canada. Mark Carney, former Bank of Canada governor, called the bankruptcy a colossal failure of leadership and a symptom of short-term thinking. He blamed the board and management for ignoring climate risks, failing to modernize, and focusing on executive bonuses over long-term survival. Carney's words were a powerful indictment of a corporate culture out of touch with reality. He warned that Canada's resource industries face similar threats if they don't adapt. The old ways won't work. Companies must invest in sustainability and innovation. Carney urged a ruthless pursuit of the future, not nostalgia for the past. His blunt tone signaled the gravity of the crisis and the need for urgent action. This isn't just about one company. It's a warning for the entire Canadian economy. The message: adapt or face more Northern Timbers. Carney's alarm bell can't be ignored by those in power. Leaders across Canada responded quickly to the crisis. The Federal Minister of Natural Resources promised emergency support and job retraining, but offered few details on a company bailout. Provincial premiers, especially in BC, Quebec, and Ontario, scrambled to form task forces and transition plans for affected towns. Local mayors, overwhelmed by desperate calls, have become crisis managers overnight. Many admit they don't have answers for their residents' fears. On the ground, anxiety and frustration are palpable as communities struggle to cope. Meanwhile, opposition parties blame the government for failing to protect jobs and the resource sector. The bankruptcy has sparked a heated national debate about Canada's economic direction. Political finger-pointing highlights deep divisions on how to manage the country's future. The collapse of Northern Timber has become a flashpoint for broader economic anxieties. As the dust settles, the focus must be on people, supporting workers and families through financial aid, mental health care, and job counseling. This crisis is also a chance to rethink Canada's lumber industry. The old model is broken, the future lies in innovation and sustainability. Investment in engineered wood products, biorefineries, and value-added manufacturing is essential. Government, industry, and researchers must collaborate to modernize and diversify. New trade agreements and sustainable practices can open global markets. The sector must embrace change as the only path to survival. Canada still has vast forests, skilled workers, and the capacity for bold choices. By learning from this collapse, Canada can build a smarter, greener, and more resilient forestry industry for generations to come.